You guys come up to this corner heading where it kind of like intersections with this old abandoned guild hall building, and then it goes left to the Dwarven District and right to the Mages District. As you guys come to that intersection, you just pick up on it. Whether you want to act on it or not is up to you. You can feel like you're being watched from something coming from this kind of instinctual feeling you have is northwest. Feels like you're being seen from that direction.
West. Okay.
This woodland.
Let me see. I do plan on asking on that if you want to continue ahead.
Sure.
All right. I'm going to look around. And, are there any? Okay, so Emus is going to try to come. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit interesting. Emus is going to kind of come to a stop, kind of panting, like, "Oh yeah, good run." Okay, and then he's going to look around and he's going to admire the trees and the plants around me, and then he's going to look for any sort of animal, squirrel, a bird, little rodent running around, anything.
Okay, make a perception check for me.
Okay. 7 + 8, so 15.
Yeah, so there. Are you looking for like a more flight creature? Like, are you looking up in the trees? Are you looking down on the ground area where you specifically kind of?
I would prefer a more flighty creature, yes.
Okay, so looking around, your ranger eyes are able to discern a couple of kind of squirrel-esque creatures that have like these kind of nubby antlers coming out, like maybe like 4 centimeter long antlers coming out of their heads. And there's some other winged birds that resemble kind of owlish creatures with very large eyes and spinning heads.
Any of them is any of them giving like them my attention? Like they're looking at me, kind of like they're just sitting there staring at me.
The squirrel's looking in your direction, but everyone the fowl seem kind of uninterested. The squirrel's kind of just like looking to see what you're doing. It'd be like a brief kind of, and then move on.
Where's the squirrel at? I'm sorry, I'm thinking. Hang on. Clemency, you don't have Crow with you, right? Crow the Raven?
I don't have Crow because he's injured and can't come to me, and my secondary Raven is asking a question for me to the Raven Queen.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Speak with Animals on that squirrel.
Okay. All right. So as you speak out the incantation, you cast Speak with the Animals on yourself. Are you going to approach the squirrel? How are you going to do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna approach the squirrel, but when I cast a spell, can I kind of make it look like? Can I do like a performance check to make it look natural? Like, oh, look the squirrel. Oh, I'm kind of approach it.
Sure. You can roll a sleight of hand to cast. Either you can roll sleight of hand to cast sneakily, or you can roll a performance check to try to make your casting look like something else.
Well, I'm gonna take sleight of hand, so I just rolled a 20, so 24.
Okay, so pretty stealthily, you're able to cast the divination on yourself. Able to speak with animals now. What are you doing?
Right, so I'm gonna crouch down here, keeping my distance. So like I'm observing it, kind of like cueing to it, not really actually having a conversation with it. I'm gonna ask it, "Hey, little guy, how's your day going?"
Is that you? You're not. What are you? It kind of like eyes you a little suspiciously.
Oh, I'm a friend of the forest.
You offering me? What do you want?
Well,
you got any food?
I I may have some food on me, but I feel that my friends and I are in potential danger. And you want to avoid dangerous things. So, I was wondering.
He's standing up on his two hind feet, by the way, now, like kind of like holding his two marsupial little hands together, like in excitement about this food.
And you seem like you're quite capable of alerting friends to danger. And I was hoping you could help us out because we're friends.
He's still just staring at you.
If you could go to the those trees behind us, I'm gonna gesture towards the northwest where we felt like we're being watched from, and run around from the trees and have some fun. And if you find anything, come back to me. I would repay you.
Okay. You just want to know about the weird guy in the mask that went over there a little bit ago?
Weird guy in a mask. What do you mean?
Yeah, short, fat fella. He been eating good. He had a good winter. I didn't have a good winter. I had a hard time finding food. I'm hungry.
Did he have any rocks or anything scary with him?
No food, that's for sure. Couldn't smell any. I don't think so. Went over there, been sitting there for a while.
I would like to try an animal handling check to see if I can ask him to. Well, could you go over there and just kind of watch him without staying hidden, keeping it quiet, and then let us know if he moves?
Hey, the little creature thinks for a moment. Sure, but it'll cost you. He's gonna hop down off the tree and he's gonna run up to where your feet are. He's gonna look you up and he's gonna hold out one of his palms. And then he puts the other to, like, seeing that it's not enough room, he like puts the other one up to kind of make more of a space for like a morsel of food to carry.
Oh boy, do I have anything on me that a squirrel would eat? I don't think I have anything.
You hear like the slight tapping of an impatient little squirrel foot.
Calamus, are you still behind me? Kind of.
No, she left, bro.
Okay.
I'm sure they would eat almost anything.
I mean, you could probably pass him a corner of a ration.
Yeah, I have rations, but I was trying to get something a little bit more sustained, like better than that. Okay, I guess I go dig into my rations to see if I can find anything that has some like dried nuts in it or something, or roasted nuts in it that go with the ration. Kind of pull it apart to give it to him and forfeit.
If you start digging through your bag, he like runs up to try to look inside. He goes, "Oh, you got any dandelion heads?" He started looking at you like specifically for an answer, or chicory, cattail, clovers.
Emus is going to concentrate for a second and put his hand down to the ground, feeling the earth, and he's going to reach out to Mistra and say, and just in my mind, a quick player too. Hey, Mistra, need some dandelion heads right now. Can I get some dandelions? And also thinking back towards the Druid's Grove that we were in, to see if anything can manifest.
Make a religion check for me.
Oh, okay. Oh, 18. Let's go.
As you place your hand on the ground, there seems to be silence for a long time. You like a little bit of embarrassment kind of creeps in as the squirrel goes, what are you doing? And as you look up past him, as luck would have it, you can actually see a bunch of yellow heads tucked right underneath this little rock grove over here. Not sure if they were there before, whether it's pure coincidence or not, but there appears to be a small cluster of 5 or 6 dandelions.
Sure, I'm gonna kind of start moving towards them and go, hey, look at all these dandelion heads. Yeah, sure, collect these all for you.
Oh, those weren't there. No way, I didn't miss those.
Oh, don't worry, friend. I have your back. I found them for you.
I guess as you pluck him, he's gonna reach out and grab him, and he's muttering something to himself. And he starts like stuffing him in his cheek. It sounds like he says something along the lines of unfair. And then without another word, he's going to just run off towards that little grove, or not grove, this little wood line over here.
All right, I'm gonna finish this whole act by looking like I was trying to pick the Dandylanders in the first place, and turn and walk back towards Dempsey.
To the
You're heading
east.
back towards the district.
No, towards where Clamsy is.
Yeah, the wizard district.
Oh, yeah, yep. Oh, wrong
Okay.
way. Yep.
All right, Clamsy. What are you doing over there? As you approach the guild, or as you approach the
I would
college, you can
hope
hear
Mariah
teaching
would still
inside.
be near the horses, but he's not.
So you can see your horses tied up, and you can hear sounds like lessons being taught through the windows inside the college.
Does any place look like a headmaster would be in?
So the buildings you passed on your way here, there's this big tower. That could be of interest. Overlooking the garden area, and then there's this building here. It almost seems like it's like preserved off, like kind of museum-esque, like a historical type deal. And it doesn't seem like anyone's around that looking at it, but that does look like it could be a headmaster's type deal. And then there's a little dorm district, like our dorm area where all the wizards stay and get supplies and stuff. And then there's a library over here. This area.
None of those. Let's see.
What are you doing?
Standing stumped. So I can go to Bezoit and Boogie.
So as you start heading back, unable to find, you see Emus approaching you the way that you came.
As she
Emus.
approaches, oh, go ahead.
I don't know where the headmaster could be. And I didn't see Mariah to ask him.
Will you knock on the door, or go inside?
Which door? There's classes being taught. Can't just be a crazy person all sweaty being like, where's the headmaster?
I'm gonna kind of cock my head confusedly. Oh, well, let me handle it. And I'm gonna start walking towards the school. And as I start walking back towards the school where she just came from, we'll kind of turn and said, by the way, friend of the woods has said there's someone, sounds like maybe a dwarf watching us intently, so keep an eye out for that.
I wonder if it's from that guy that was killed that we were supposed to go meet before eating with Lord Baron.
It's very possible.
Or was it Baron? That doesn't sound right.
Barnett. As
Now
you guys
we're all
approach,
saying it wrong.
The old guildmaster.
As you guys approach, you see the door, and it feels like those statues are kind of observing you while not moving. Just feel this perception following you.
I'm gonna walk up to the doors, and I am just gonna open it and try to walk in.
As you reach at the handle, it is locked.
Okay. After that, I'm just gonna kind of knock, sturdily but firmly. Politely knock.
As you knock, you hear this kind of, and a half orc holding this kind of like cluster, a geode almost, kind of radiating, and a wand in his right hand appears apparating next to you.
As it pops, and Emus is going to do a double take. Oh, okay. All right. And then he's going to do a very exaggerated bow and be like, "Sir, may I present to you the leader
Oh,
of the Moral
Amos,
Savant, Our Lady
no.
Clemency."
He turns and looks at you very matter-of-factly.
So, Lady Clemency, are you here on college business?
Yeah, I suppose I need to speak with the headmaster because the portal seems to be getting bigger and it's really putting off some chaotic energy. I'm afraid maybe other monsters will be drawn to it or something's trying to come out of it.
See, afraid the headmaster is currently out of town on college business and is meant to arrive later today. Elviro is in charge.
Oh, is there any way to send him a message in the meantime?
It is custom that guild business be taken care of by second in command.
What if second... Okay.
Raises an eyebrow at you, like expecting you to elaborate on your.
It seems
like,
like
issue
second
with it.
in command doesn't want to be just second in command anymore.
Care to elaborate?
I don't know. I don't know how headmaster becomes headmaster, but he seems to want the position and has
Listen,
his own ideas about the portal than what I've been told the headmaster has ideas about.
we're very certain that the portal has stronger implications than just being a random portal. I have the very strong feeling that it's a leak allowing some sort of dangerous energy into our plane of existence that we really should shut down. The longer we let it flow, the more dangerous it is.
I understand and sympathize. I suggest you bring these issues up with Elviro until the headmaster returns.
And I'm going to kind of squint at him and say, I understand that the chain of command, but
Mom, we can hear you eating and stuff.
Is there no way to contact him while he travels? Surely a great mage as himself has some sort of way to talk or communicate with his college, his school.
He nods.
Of course there is.
So, Michael,
It is a matter of respect. Why would we go over the second in command's head?
Because the second in command is, quite frankly, making a very poor decision to the welfare of this town and this world.
have you got two screens, DM?
Yeah.
You've got DM notes on the streaming one.
Well, it should just be the window of the. We don't need it anyway right now.
Mhm.
Repeat your thing, Seth.
Well, but the second in command is making terrible decisions for this city, this town, and the safety of its inhabitants, and he must be stopped. Because right now there is a negative energy that is flowing in through that portal that must be shut down immediately.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Boy, I got a +2 persuasion.
I
So
aid him by nodding and like keeping a serious face.
Sure. Roll at advantage, Seth.
Caitlin, I just rolled a 1. So thank you. And 9 plus 2, so 11.
He looks at you and he says, "Look, we appreciate what you've done for our town, we do. But Headmaster Marchon has utmost confidence in his second in command. He instilled him himself. This is how things work here. Everything will be fine. Vero is a trusted member of this college."
All right. Well, we'll head back to the portal in case anything pops out. Please alert the headmaster that we came by.
He gives you a silent nod, bow kind of deal. Looks over to Emus until Emus moves.
I don't think we're gonna get anywhere trying to argue this point.
Yeah, Eames was not happy.
I'm also confused because I thought the headmaster was working on a project with our horses, and now he's out of town.
Emus, what are you doing?
Emus is gonna kind of snarkily bow again and say, "Well, fine. I suppose it's a good thing that we don't attend such a college that is so um, um, lackluster in the security of its inhabitants and its townsfolk."
As
The
you
safety
leave,
of its inhabitants.
seemingly kind of, I don't know, apathetic, I guess, a little bit. He kind of watches you leave. You watch as or hear his wand tap tap this stone in his hand, and he pops away, vanishing. As you guys are walking this way, you can hear what sounds like the sound of scraping and like things being placed down, like bowls being placed down, and some glass being tinkered with. The sound of shears get cutting.
I'm gonna follow Clemency back to the portal. That's where she's going.
And as he begins walking, you can see the outline following the noise of Mariah Aberich carrying this container of herbs, unaware of your presence, walking westward. Now over here. Walked over into this room.
Mariah!
And you hear a bowl drop and oh, yeah. He comes out kind of flustered, wiping off this like green fibrous material off of his robes. That's rather rude, you know.
Well, how else do you get someone's attention without calling their name?
Walking up, knocking on the door politely. And he
I
looks
feel
up,
like
and
you're
then
just jumpy.
as he looks up and connects eyes with you, he goes from his regular kind of speech pattern to back to that nervous kind of. What do you want? What do you want?
I just saw you. We were in the area. Also, did you hear where Headmaster went? Like what business he could be on?
Squints his eyes as Evis comes in. What are you up to?
What are we up
What am
to?
I?
What is the college up to?
I don't. Not fully the college, just our favorite horned friend.
We have severe concerns about the college maintaining that portal. I understand it's a great learning opportunity for students, but they don't seem to understand the dangers that might be leaking through.
He looks
Amos is
back and
concerned because the plants are in a tizzy.
he furrows his eyebrows at you, and the headmaster should be back soon. Wasn't planning on being gone all day. This horn guy. I mean, Master Simmons.
What's his first name?
We've Elviro.
Yes, that's the one.
I don't understand. Is there some issue? This is all sudden.
It's just since the second shift took over, the rift has gotten wider by quite a bit.
I'm gonna kind of. Emus is gonna kind of get a thoughtful look across his face for a moment and go, "Look, I was meditating for 5 minutes, and I could feel the chaos spewing through that rift, coming into our world, and I could feel that it's building up, that it might at one point trigger some sort of event that's going to be harmful for everyone in this city. And I'm not a magic caster. I'm not someone who's attuned to magic, such as your entire college is, and no one here can feel it but me.
Well, I think it's our Mr. Gifts just to give us a bit more attunement with magical forces.
Mariah nods. I understand what's happening here. You're new to Shadowdale, and he reaches out and puts a hand on your shoulder. There's all kinds of magical energies here that travelers are not accustomed to. I understand your worry. Fret not. This college is the best.
The best magical college is allowing a portal to another plane of existence
Wait.
that is spewing in.
Wait, what?
What would happen if this college would fail, like to the headmaster, if they failed to contain this rift and something catastrophic happened? What would happen to the headmaster? Would he stay headmaster, or would he have to step down or be removed?
It's a curious question. One
Can't.
second. He looks over at you. I don't think that would happen. Headmaster Marchon will take care of any issue that befalls this town.
If he were
What if there's
here,
no town? Yeah, what if there's no town for him to come back to?
What do you want me to do? He shrugs kind of helplessly.
mm,
Can you send a message?
You want me to go above Master Simmons and send Headmaster a message?
Yes.
He's gonna squint at you. If you're wrong, do you know the hell that'll befall me?
And I'm going to squint my eyes at him, and if I'm right, do you know what hell will befell this city?
And he reaches up, grabbing his temple, and closes his eyes out of frustration, ready to send a message. And he says, "What's your name?" to Emus.
My name? I am gonna glance sideways at Calamithy for a second, and then say my name is Buttons Mitaki.
He nods. I'm using your name. If I get in trouble, it will be on your head. And he closes his eyes, and you see his lips beginning to move, though you hear no words coming out as he begins to send a message. Then after about 10, 15 seconds, he takes his hand off his head. It's done. You better be right.
can I just ask the wording you used? So when
Yeah, I said the Chosen have an issue with how Simmons is running things, and he should hurry up and get back here to speak to you.
Not the
He kind
word
of,
I would have picked, but okay.
kind of frustratedly walks past you as his eyes race back and forth, thinking about the repercussions on his career if this is going to bite him in the ass.
I wasn't ready for that. All right. I think our turn is over. That seems like a pretty long interaction.
Zoe, Boogie, what are you guys doing?
I would like to use my ring of telepathy. It's Thorn, and who is the other teacher that's with us?
So currently,
So-
3 teachers are with you. You got Thorin, Oliver, and Raphael.
Also, I am borrowing that right now. If you ask me for it,
Oh.
I'll give it
No.
back to you.
Well, no, because it'd be kind of obvious.
Huh. Well, at first I was kind of tense when Bezoit was going towards the portal, but when she was only observing it and not actually going like through the wizard barrier, then not as tense. I was still Vera is tense, but like he's only going to react to something that I don't think that Bezoit's going to do. So, I would wait for a little bit to see what's going on. If actually nothing is going on, then I've got something, but I'll wait until then.
So, seeing as how I don't have the ring of telepath communication, I want to begin to chant low, but yet loud enough to be heard, a song that is in tune with the Wizard of Oz, the witch song, except for I want to say, have you heard of the witch? Which witch? The horned witch. And I just want to make a funny little chant about our wizard over there. Just to infuriate him.
You see his hand begin to tremble slightly, and his grip tighten on his wand. And he yells at you, disgusting, insulting troglodyte. Your intelligence is so beneath me, you resort to petty insults.
And I look over at him and say, excuse me?
And as he's getting ready to open his mouth, his sentence is cut off by the sound of, as his vision looks up into the sky and sees this soaring, coming down like in a beeline for him, this bird, the kind of falcon-esque bird, making a nosedive towards Mersimmons. And as it approaches him, he like raises out his hands to catch it, and you watch as it turns into this kind of like lantern, like this like a lantern with one of those shrouds on top of it, and this kind of dark mahogany on top. And the door opens without Mersimmons touching it, and he kind of like it illuminates his face as he looks into the flame of the lantern, and his eyes kind of get widen, and he nods, almost like he's receiving a message from this flame. And he shuts the door and throws the lantern up, and you watch as it begins shifting back into this bird and flying back towards the northeast. And his dispute with you drops immediately, and he yells a command for his men. Keep it up, men. Do not falter. And he's going to turn and begin walking away.
As I see all of this, I'm going to pray that Cal still has her hood on, and I'm going to say, be mindful, the little witch is on his way towards you.
And what are you doing now that he seems like he's in a rather, he's not running because it's beneath him, but he's definitely speed walking back to the college.
So I would like to come towards the teachers here and Boogie, and I'm going to softly tell them that I definitely feel that there is a leak at the top of this portal and that it's letting chaotic energy out. And I don't know if these wizards are inducing the leak or preventing it from being bigger. But we
Raphael
need to do
nods and he
something.
says, "There's more. That lantern was from the hooded lanterns. That's how they communicate. Message must have been urgent for him to react.
What's a hooded lantern? What does that mean?
It's an outfit of rangers and other folk of the forest, we'll say.
So they're the bad guys?
No, they guard the forest of natures around Terrell, but if they're sending a message, something might be wrong out there."
Oh. Oh. Do you guys feel anything with this portal?
And Thor looks up at it. "Yeah, I don't feel good about it." What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna go lean against the rock. Talk to my sword.
Feeling bad because I don't want to jeopardize Mariah's place at this school.
I think we were right about it. I'm convinced that we did the good thing.
So I'm going to look at the teachers and say, suggestions? What should we do? There's obviously problems in the forest, but is it caused by this portal? What do we do?
Raphael looks at you and over at Oliver. Oliver and I can head out to the woods, try to meet up with the lanterns and see if something's going on.
I nod, and then I'm going to come over to the tree, and I'm going to take out my priest pack, and I am going to begin to offer up a prayer to Bahamut for wisdom at this moment.
Okay. You watch as Oliver and Raphael turn ready to head on the mission anyway. Thorin looking a little offended that they didn't kind of invite him. As they get out of earshot, he turns and looks at Boogie and says, "Nah, they're afraid if they invite me, I'll take all their kills." And then he starts running towards them. "Ah, wait up, you sons of bitches." And those
Where are
three,
they going?
they are making their way northeast to meet up with the lanterns, the hooded lanterns.
Mhm.
Which that was on the hooded lanterns are on the pamphlet from way back on session 0. I don't expect you guys to remember that over a year.
Yeah, there are like 7 factions.
Northeast, you said?
Yep.
So maybe the other side of the camp.
Well, they're heading like out of town, like they're going out to the woods to see if they can meet up with the lanterns. So what are you guys doing? Your prayer to Bahamut. What are you doing with it? And you speaking to the sword. What do you do with that?
Okay. So, the next round of some questions. What was it you wanted to say when we were about to disturb that evil amulet in the tomb?
As you speak to the sword, it does not seem to react at all to you speaking to it. It's not even humming at you.
Oh, shoot. Does the sword seem any different from right when I just friggin' 10 seconds after I stabbed it into the dragon, the red dragon?
So it's still stained that color, like it's not stained, like the blood isn't staining it. It's like the metal has changed color to that hue. But otherwise it seems like it was. If you're wanting to know more about like the inner working, like the magics, I'll need an Arcana check.
So it's not like... I'm wondering if it like had any sort of glow when I stabbed it, soon after. And if if that anything special has gone away.
It does not seem to have changed. It did not like permanently glow. There was like an initial reaction from stabbing it. The only permanent change to the sword is that hue changed to the color of the blade.
And it's been quite a bit. It's been like 12 hours since then.
Right.
I think to it. Are you there?
You feel something though. It's not an intelligent feeling. It's the sense of hunger coming from the sword. A sense of burning desire for more. Though there is no off on me. No intelligent, sentient voice coming back.
Well, shoot. Hopefully it'll get better soon. I guess I don't really need this ring right now. I just kind of think to myself, and I take the ring off and start walking towards Bezoit.
As I lay out my blanket from my priest's pack, I begin to recite the prayer that I said to you, Michael. Do you want me to say it in game?
No, it's okay. As you walk, I'll read that. As you walk over, you see her praying. Make a religion check for me.
Okay. I'm going to keep some distance and just kind of let her do it.
19.
And then I guess I'll just look towards the portal and sit down.
19.
Yes.
As you're sitting there, Boogie, you feel like your wind begin to pick up. And as you look over, there seems to be this kind of dry air surrounding Bezoit as her head goes backwards and her eyes shine this bright blue platinum. Bezoit, you find yourself in the middle of a sandstorm, fighting through this intense heat and burning sting of the sand. As you come up over this kind of dune, and you see this like graveyard of bone and this entrance to this kind of winding deep cavern that has this very hot orange glow coming from within. And you have this sense of it being the den of a dragon. And you feel a very intense purpose and drive to go in and slay that dragon. And in this vision, you have this feeling of knowing that you are in the dunes, the magical dragon-infested dunes of the desert Anarok. And after, well, what are you doing?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Is this a vision, or do I feel like I'm actually there? I mean, do I feel?
Yeah, to you, it feels like you are there. I think you would recognize that you were not there a moment ago. So you would probably recognize it as a vision, but the vision feels as if you are there.
If I have an uncontrollable urge to go in, I'm going to go in.
And as you step forward, this sense of dread kind of enters your bones as you step forward and look to your left and right and see that none of your comrades are beside you. And as you step forward on the dune, it begins to cave away and the sand sucks you down forward. And you feel this feeling of like you don't have control of the situation, and the sand begins to swallow you, and you come back yourself on this rug that you have.
And I'm
Your
back.
eyes, yeah, your eyes lose their glowing platinum blue. Return material plane where you are.
Hmm. I'm just going to sit here for a moment and try to collect what it is that I felt, knowing that I shouldn't have gone forward without my comrades with me.
Boogie, you just still chilling there? Can't hear you if you're talking. Okay. Are you still sitting there? Are you doing anything else?
What is the difference that I've seen in her?
What is the difference of what?
That I've like, it seemed to dry as she was praying. Did she stop
Yeah.
praying?
Yeah, the winds that were circling around here, sorry, as she was in that vision, almost seemed to like pick up these like morsels of sand. Like it almost seemed like the traces of like a very light, like desert. What are those things called? Those little tiny tornadoes, like storm devils or whatever they're called.
Dust devils.
Yeah, it almost seems like these like small sandy, like sand devils around her. And then when she comes forward and her eyes go clear, they fall to the ground, mundane again. The wizards seem preoccupied with their in their casting, and you can actually see their arms starting to wobble a little bit and get a little noodly.
I'll just sit here.
Okay. Calamithy, Emus. You guys doing?
Great. So I guess with our for getting the message sent, we'd probably head back to the others, right?
Yeah, I would yell out towards Mariah that I'm sorry and that it is all our fault if anything goes wrong for him.
More specifically, it's my fault for giving him my name.
Yeah, but I could have pretended like I didn't see him and kept walking.
As you guys begin making your way out, around that intersection again, where you guys had felt watched, you guys see coming around the corner as you get it right about here.
Okay.
Elvira Mersimmons rounding the corner, walking very quickly, heading back towards the college.
Remind me who that
Uh,
is again.
Elvira Mersimmons is the second in command at the college.
Got it. Oh, right. He's coming back from the portal. Yeah. Okay.
Are you guys interacting or what? Or like I'm not asking if you're interacting because you haven't got to him yet, but I'm asking like, are you doing anything? Are you guys trying to avoid him? Are you
I
walking
wanted
forward?
to try to duck into the trees and just watch him, not let him know that we came this way. And see if
Just
we'd be
dodge that jerk.
suspicious. Yeah.
Fucking ghost of the motherfucker. Okay.
You miss what are you doing?
I'm down. I'm gonna follow Calamithy.
Okay, I need you guys both roll a stealth check.
Luckily,
You're
we're
asking the
two
two
stealthiest people.
stealthiest people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a 20 with the roll of a 3. Pretty
I got a
awesome.
20. Oh yeah. I rolled 13, so 22 for me.
Okay, so as you guys sit there resting, you watch or stealthing, Alvaro begins making his way past you. And it doesn't seem like he is aware of your guys' position. Though you hear rustling through the trees. And then ahead of Elviro coming out, you see this little horned squirrel jumping down very excitedly, going, hey, sometimes, he moved, and I kept it out, I did a good job. And he jumps down, kind of beckering, and as he's going on, the speak with animal spell expires, and you hear as
Oh
he's
no.
kind of barking at you. What are you doing? Elviro is making his way towards you, and you definitely think that he will be able to hear that sound when he gets probably about 15, 20 feet more.
Okay, so the squirrel jumped down in front of me, not Elviro.
He's jumped down in
Okay.
front of Calamity and Emus, and he was like, something happened.
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of panically whisper to Calamity, "Look, we gotta. I asked this guy for a favor. Do you have anything like any fruits, nuts, berries, anything we can give him?"
Let me look.
I mean,
I
technically, I
have
already
some
paid him with the fucking dandelions.
edible Underdark mushrooms.
Elviro is walking forward, and he's still.
Offer it to him. Offer it to him.
Okay. I'd grab like two
To what?
of my edible Underdark mushrooms and pass it towards him.
So
Like
he's
trying to
like,
distract him with food.
he's going on and on and on, and then like almost like cut off, like so shoving them in his mouth. And you hear like very quiet as he's eating, and the footprints of Elviro walking past. And they begin like in a cadence. They're not, they're going very quickly, and they don't seem to stop and pay any mind to anything happening off of the side of the road. Continues past until you can no longer hear or see him.
What a cool interaction.
Can I go ahead and roll a perception check to see if I saw him twitch at all during the interaction? This roll, like any sign of like little.
You're rolling an insight to see if he saw you guys and pretended he didn't.
No, I'd like to roll perception to say like while I was interacting with the scroll and panicking, like I'm watching him. I'm gonna see if he like twitches, stirs, he missteps, like anything changes in his appearance.
Okay, right. Roll a perception.
15 plus 8, so 23.
No, it seemed pretty dead fast, moving forward towards the college.
Okay.
He seemed definitely like in a little bit of a worry, but
Not about what's happened. Yeah, I get you.
and there's a
Yes.
moment. Starts barking at you.
Emus, is this one of your friends?
Still looking after Avirus. I'm gonna kind of like, what? Oh, yeah. I asked him to look after that dwarf I mentioned earlier. For me, at least I think it was a dwarf. I'm gonna kind of look back to the squirrel and be like, open hands, like that's all I had. That's all we had. You got your reward.
Yeah, but I think he might have been trying to tell you information, maybe? Like, why is he so chatty?
All
Enos is
right.
like, look, I'm not casting speak with animals for a second time. He's like, I'm not burning the spell slot. It's a ritual if you wanted to take the time.
How long is the ritual action? Like it's like an hour, right?
No. Rituals take 10 minutes additional to whatever. So if it's like a instant spell, it takes 10 minutes for it to cast. If it's a one action spell, it takes 10 minutes and 6 seconds to cast.
Okay, I'm gonna hunker down. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll see what this guy has to say. But if you want to be done without me, don't wait for me. And I'm gonna sit down and grab some earth and grab some twigs and start trying to cast the ritual.
Okay.
I guess I'd slowly break apart a mushroom and pass it to him. Like,
Keep him
to the squirrel,
pacified.
trying to keep him wanting to stay in this area so he can talk to him.
Jeez.
So as you sit there and begin casting your incantation and your ritual, and keeping him busy with the food, it's about maybe 4 minutes into the ritual when you can hear sounds like twig snapping and brush moving off to the on the opposite side of the road through the wood line.
I'm going to focus on my ritual, but I'm going to take the lance of Clemency to see how she reacts.
I would start looking around trying to see what's causing that noise.
As you look around, you hear very heavy footprints run from this side of the road over here over inward deeper into this side of the woods and pretty noisy on his way, but it sounds like trying to be quiet as looking through the wood line, you can see, not seeing you, a masked dwarf kind of in a roguish outfit making his way through the wood line deeper to creep forward. And then he does so coming up to the edge of this wall right here, completely focused towards the Wizards Guild, and can't even he doesn't even notice you guys, even though if he looked right over to his right, he would have a clear shot to see you.
All right. While Emus is doing that, I would try to stealthily walk up to him, staying a little bit behind his vision.
Okay. His cowl is like over his eyes, blocking a little bit of his periph and covering his face. Go ahead and make a stealth roll.
Okay. It's a lot. 13. 30.
So you get as close as you want, and he doesn't even notice. This dwarf is kneeling now with one hand on the stone and kind of just watching in the distance for movement.
I'd lightly tap his shoulder and say, hey buddy, what you doing?
As soon as you tap his shoulder, Emus, you watch as the squirrel gets scared, runs up the tree as this loud, and he like flails his arms backwards and jumps backwards,
Oh, he
looking at you,
flew.
falling on his ass, and going, "Don't kill me! Don't kill me!"
I'm not in the habit of killing people.
Roll a deception check.
What?
So a 1 plus 10, 11.
He like squints an eye at you and looks you up and down. You don't look like you'd be too against it.
Well, okay, I kill bad people.
Looks himself up and down, and his eyes widen as he sees how he's dressed. No, it's not what it looks like. You don't understand.
You definitely don't give off a bad guy person vibe, but you are sneaking around, and I feel like you might have been watching as we had walked this way. Just curious what you're looking at.
He looks down, kind of ashamed that none of his stealthiness has worked. He's gonna look up at you. I don't know if I can trust you. People say that you were over there not too. I don't know the time frame.
Your guild leader's place where he was found dead, assassinated.
He narrows his eyes at you and reaches over behind his back.
We
How
were
do you-
meant to meet with him that evening. We went there. When we arrived, we had found his quill, but it had looked like it was possibly changed out with something that had a poisonous prick, and that we found him dead at his desk with the writing quill in his hand. He was supposed to give us information about Lord Barnett, and we figured it was a part of him, but a lot of stuff has happened since then.
Looks at you, seeming to gain a little bit of trust with you. It's like, yeah, well, there's more. We found these in the guild hall, and he pulls out a small pouch from his back belt, holds it over to you, kind of leather wrapped up.
Okay, I grab it and try to lightly undo it.
And inside you see some of those shards that you had seen that were being harvested and sent to Lord Barnett.
Why would those shards be in the guild hall? We didn't encounter these until we were down in almost before the Underdark.
He shakes his head. I don't know. But I don't trust that horned bastard.
Neither do we. We actually just sent word to the headmaster to say that we disagree with how he's running things currently. The horned
Been
bastard, that is, not the headmaster.
meddling around in our side of town. I don't have any proof, but I got a bad feeling in my gut, he says as he gets back towards the wall. He looks over at you suspiciously. Not gonna tell on each other, right?
No, but I would like to get to the bottom of the assassination and this guy because I also have a bad feeling about him. That he doesn't have the town's best interest at heart. Or this school's.
He nods.
But I would
Miss-
be careful.
I just want to give you a chance while all this is happening. Do something. Whether you're going to continue with yours. Are you continuing with your spell?
Me? Yes.
Okay. Calamacy, you said just be careful.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think we should do? You seem to have experience in this kind of stuff.
Yes, I had to be undercover in the Kraken Society for training.
See you up and down like he doesn't really know what that is. He shakes his head. I've never been on a boat.
It's probably for the best. Boats aren't that fun.
What? Time up. Our ship is awesome.
Yeah, but it's about to be a flying ship. That's awesome.
And he says, I'll tell the horn bastard and I'll report back to you guys if I find anything out.
Okay, he did seem to be in a hurry back to here. I'm not sure why though, but he did look concerned.
He holds out a big meaty hand. The name's Donegold.
Calamacy.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And are you heading back over to Emus?
Yeah.
Emus, it takes you a few more minutes to finish the spell, and the ritual is complete. And you can talk now to the squirrel that's up in a tree, kind of hiding, thinking that it's taking too long.
Do I hear him say anything, or is it
He doesn't like he isn't aware that you're done doing what you're doing. He's up.
Okay. Okay, now that I'm done, I'm like, whew. All right, look back. I'm like, okay, sorry. What were you trying to say?
He raises this little hand and points over towards the dwarf by the wall. I found who was looking at you, and he's on the move.
Yes, thank you. That's very helpful. Kind of like a little exasperated.
He kind of stands up, chest out, kind of proud.
You are a very noble squirrel of these woods. I bet you look over everyone here.
Hey, you calling me a creep?
No, more of a protector. Like you're the guardian. You're the lookout. You're the scout.
I don't watch more than I'm supposed to.
Well, thank you for your efforts. And I kind of hold out a handful of like broken crackers from one of my more messed up rations. You can have this as a payment.
His eyes jump down, and he jumps down and starts. I'll tell you anything you want to know. You know where the bathhouse is, right? He starts eating the crackers.
Pervy squirrel. Not that I know it. But
I'm just gonna kind of bring him out, lay him on the ground. Okay, yeah, thank you. I'm gonna turn and walk back towards Glenn.